It was a big win for the New York Jets, who get some revenge. The Sean Payton comments before the season about Nathaniel Hackett. Nathaniel Hackett, now the offensive coordinator. It was a game that we were looking forward to after the comments were made. Although Aaron Rodgers wasn't there, it was Zach Wilson and company getting it done for the New York Jets. And afterwards, Robert Saleh made sure to point out who this game ball was for. Let's take a listen.
How about offense, 234 rushing? But I got one game ball.
I want you guys to know it's an honor to be with you guys. Watching that defense go out there, sack him, get turnovers, it's absolutely beautiful. Watching this offense run that ball. Hey, it's only the beginning. We all could get better. Myself included. I just appreciate all you, man, especially as I get to know you guys. Appreciate you. Let's get Jets on here.
Yeah, everybody loves that guy. Like, it's not just a Rodgers thing. Everybody loves Nathaniel Hackett.
I thought what was most interesting about those comments was what he led off with. I mean, Robert Saleh's giving him praise and appreciation because of what was said in the offseason by Sean Payton. But if you listen to what he first acknowledged, it was the defense. And sacking that guy is what he said. Which kind of is interesting because, I mean, I don't know how Russell and Hackett's relationship was, but kind of lends you to think that maybe there's a lot more there between those two and what did or didn't, if they didn't get along. Because the highlight to me was Breece Hall. I mean, the way he toted that rock, I know that Denver's defense has struggled this year. I mean, they make everyone look good. But 177 yards at a tutty in that sort of, game in the NFL, that's still something. But that wasn't what Nathaniel Hackett led off with. So I just kind of feel like there is probably a lot more there to the relationship between him and Russell Wilson than we've heard on the outside. And maybe that's why he led off with what he said the way he said it.
Well, because Hackett was the fall guy. He was the one who had to go.
Yeah, but there's more than just that. I mean, you knew based on the contract and the trade to get Russell Wilson, they couldn't move on from him after 1 year. So that's it's not the fall guy. There's more there. There were clearly some, as far as maybe why, because he took the blame, even though it wasn't all on him, and maybe we're starting to see that a little bit with how things are playing out in Denver. Maybe that was why he said what he said.
You know what I'm on. I'll tell y'all, if y'all see my notes, y'all know what I'm on. I'm wondering, can Denver be so bad that they let Sean Payton go in one season? Because it's possible that they could be that bad. Just seeing the sample size of what we've seen so far, my estimation, it's so bad that it could be that bad. In my estimation. Now, I'm not calling for no one's job. It's not what I do. But we have seen a trend where coaches can lose their gig in one season. And, I mean, need I say, those seasons looked a lot like how this one – like, okay, we're talking about the award, Hackett getting the award, getting the game ball. Everybody loves him, this, that, and the other. Was it worse than this when he was there? Was it worse?
I don't know. Like that's if it was.
Is it debatable?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I mean, and also because I think people assumed, well, if you got rid of the coach and you bring in Sean Payton, they're going to fix everything, and it just doesn't look anywhere close to what anybody thought they'd be.
How much better does it look? How much better does it look?
I'll say this much. I mean, Russell Wilson's played a lot better than how he looked last year. And I think the difference is, you've got a different guy in there calling the plays, a different head coach. It's an offensive mind. And the problem with Denver is not their offense. It's largely their defense.
Yeah.
I mean, their defense is atrocious right now. I mean, seriously, everyone has been able to put up – points and scores. Like, if anyone's going to take the fall, it's probably going to be Vance Joseph.
I was going to say, does he make it through the season?
Like, I don't think he does at this rate. I mean, they have looked awful and they have no answers whatsoever. I mean, you're talking about a defense that gave up 70 points. 70 points. They are dead last in almost every single category. I mean, points, yards, bottom half in red zone percentage. Like, surprisingly, somehow they're like bottom half and third down, but not as bad as you'd think. But they are, I mean, it's just awful. The big plays, everything else. So, unfortunately, like if there's going to be a fall guy, it's probably going to be Vance Joseph initially, and then we'll see who survives based on how the rest of the season turns out. And it's not like things get any easier for them. They play Kansas City in Kansas City this week.
That's just, hey, you know what we need to get right? We need a short week at Kansas City.
And you know what the worst part is? They got to play them 2 weeks after that.
Right.
Like literally, if their bye week comes at week 9, they've got to play in between now and then Kansas City twice, and then they've got to play Green Bay in between. Granted, at home, so maybe that's a little more winnable. They might be a 1-win team going into the bye.
And then out of the bye, they're at Buffalo.
Okay, so you get rid of the defensive coordinator at the bye.
I mean, at least you have time to prepare. Whoever the next man up is.
Okay, so then if the next man goes,
and by the way, the worst part is like the way their schedule finishes. They go back to back to back on the road versus Houston, who looks a lot better than we thought. The Chargers, who are tough. Detroit, who's the top of the NFC North. I mean, for the last 6 weeks,
they might win what? 2-3 games?
Yeah, I mean, depending on how this whole thing turns out. But the way their defense is playing, yeah, I mean, that's...
As of right now, they're projected to get the number 3 pick in the draft. If they're picking that high, you're going QB, right? Try and get younger?
What depends who's there. Depends who's ahead of you and who's picking. I mean, you don't want to force yourself into taking a QB that you don't love and taking at that spot.
I mean, you're saying Russ is playing well, so why would they be looking to get a QB at 3?
Well, he's playing better, but it's not like he's lighting the league on fire.
He's not doing that bad either, though.
They just feel like, and I wonder at what point, if part of Sean Payton airing out Nathaniel Hackett and just voicing his frustration, I wonder at what point he realized, that maybe this isn't what I thought it was. And I would not be surprised if Sean Payton decides to walk away from the gig. Like if he just said, all right.
What?
Yeah. If he decided
after 1 year?
Yeah. I would not be surprised. Go do broadcasting.
But he'd be ruined if he did that. He's not
that'd
going to
be
do that.
ridiculous.
I mean, I just think he looks at it and goes, maybe it's not fixable. Maybe
this is the worst take you've had.
I'm just saying it would not surprise me if he decided I'm out.
Come on.
I mean, I could see him being candid and transparent enough to say this was a bigger fix than what I thought it was.
Right.
I could see him doing that, but I wouldn't see him going to the extreme that you're saying.
I mean, it's not going to get any easier in that division. I mean, thankfully, you got the Raiders there. You can that provides some hope. You could get a couple of wins, but you still got to deal with the Chargers. You still got to deal with the Chiefs. I don't see where there's room for them to grow with what.
So he just quits. Like, I mean, that's essentially what you're saying.
That's it. Can't win.
Yeah,
I'm out of here.
Walks away.
I'm out of here.
Goes and does TV. So
I mean, you do remember when he went 7-9 for 3 straight years in New Orleans, right? Like,
yes.
He didn't just quit then. He wasn't like, I can't get over the hump, can't get this team back where I needed to be. Like, you really wouldn't be like that. Wouldn't shock you if he just said, yeah, I'm out.
No.
Oh God.
I think it's more likely for him to fix Denver than Belichick to fix the Patriots.
That actually isn't an interesting question. Who's worse off, Denver or the Patriots?
Broncos, I think the Patriots are.
I think they might be too. That's how bad the Patriots are.
Yeah, I've done it before.
Thank you, Coach. My God.
We're starting over. Like, think about that. That's Bill Belichick saying that.
There are some really bad teams in the NFL. There's really bad teams.
I mean, for the GOAT to be at the stand, the podium, and be like, starting over. Like,
by the way, did you see the way the the Jets handled social media and all the stuff.
Oh, did they send the what's that guy's
Aaron
name?
Rodgers was out there saying stuff.
Yeah,
Sauce Gardner. The
yeah.
Jets account sent a picture of who was the character, the actor who played Sean Payton in that movie?
God, he was
Yeah,
Paul
yeah.
Blart Mall Cop.
Yeah.
Mall
Kevin
Cop,
James.
yeah.
Kevin James. They sent out a little tweet with that.
Yeah.
They were active.
Yeah.
They were
active.
just like they were this offseason, which didn't matter in this matchup.
No.
Well, apparently, Denver was the offseason champs, by their account.
Yeah. Seems like it.